TikTok's such a weird place. I'm sure most of you have seen the trend that's existed since the inception of the platform where thirsty teenagers make those videos like, I would be a bad boyfriend because I'd love you too much, or you shouldn't date me because I just love you too much. You'd be suffocated with my overwhelming love. You know, shit like that. It's super weird. It's like romance to them is like it is in anime. It's just super fucking goofy. But today someone sent me a link to a guy, an Adonis, really. And I took one look at this man and I said, yeah, this guy fucks. And then it turns out he doesn't. A lot of his videos are just about relationships and why he's not in one, and why he would be a shitty boyfriend. And it's the cliche thing I mentioned where he's like, I'm too much of a lover. My love is too powerful for mere mortals to understand and tolerate. I would literally murder someone with love. I would fuck their butthole with love, and you're not ready for it. Thus, I have to be single.
Everybody wants to know why I'm single, and these are some reasons why. If I was your boyfriend, I would be very overprotective. Like, no one's talking to you but me. I would want to hang out all the time. Like, I want to be with you. I would FaceTime you and text you constantly, and then you would probably end up getting annoyed.
Bro, I'm not even dating you and I'm ready to break up. He's just actually listing off red flags and giving legitimate reasons why he would fucking suck to be in a relationship with. It's supposed to be one of those cutesy videos where girls are supposed to have their heart melt like, aw, he's single because he's so caring. But his just comes across as, wow, I can totally see why he's single with this kind of shit. It almost just sounds like threats like, hey, if we're dating, you're not talking to anyone but me. Your parents? Nope, we're cutting them out. Your imaginary friend? I'm gonna go in there and fucking murder him. You are only gonna communicate with me. Thus, I have to lock you in the basement to make sure that you don't betray me and talk to somebody that's not me.
I want everyone to know. Like, I want all my friends, all your friends, my family, your family. I want everyone to know that we're together. So those are some reasons why I'm single.
You know, to be honest, I actually can't believe that he's single. These aren't the worst qualities in the world. Yeah, you know, maybe it's a bit clingy, but it could be worse. He could be addicted to ketamine. Maybe he is, but he didn't mention it here. And if this is all that's wrong with him here, hey, maybe it's worth the chance.
A message for all ladies. All right, ladies, listen. Any guy you date should see you as a priority, not an afterthought. If a guy can only text you how he feels, he doesn't feel anything. If a guy's not willing to show you off, you can show him the door. If all they want to do is play Fortnite, you tell them good night.
Actually, pretty good advice here, I have to admit. If your man just wants to play Fortnite, you just tell him night-night, and then you go and turn yourself into the police because you were dating a child, you sick fuck. I'm wet, panties are sodden, god damn it, he's the perfect man. Jesus Christ. You'll notice that there's like a striking similarity between the things that would make him a good boyfriend and the things that also make him a bad boyfriend. It's basically just the same thing. He's obsessive. Like, he will literally always be there. Like the boogeyman under your bed, making sure that you're sleeping soundly. If you date me, I'm slapping that fucking phone out of your hand, trying to talk to somebody that's not me, you naughty harpy. The fuck do you think you're doing? I'm always there to hype you up. You want to do something? You do it and I'll be there to cheer you on. As long as it's just me there, cheering you on.
Reasons why I'm a bad boyfriend. I always want kisses and hugs. Like, even if it's random, no matter what time, I always want them. I always want to give you anything and everything. Like, even if I don't have it, I just want to give it to you. I don't want you to pay for anything. Even if I don't have enough money, I want to spoil you. Dinners, movie, anything, I want to pay for it. I won't let you. I want to show you off. I'm gonna post about you. Even if you don't want me to do it, I can't help it. I want to show you off, baby. I will always put you before me. Even if you're having a great day and I'm not, I will just hype your day up and I won't tell you about how bad my day was. But those are some reasons why I'm a bad boyfriend.
Oh my god, it's so dreamy. You don't want me to post about you? That's too fucking bad. I'm putting your nudes on Twitter because I'm so proud of you, baby. You got a great body. Those ass cheeks and the way that they can clap. Oh my god, the world needs to know. I'm gonna show you off, baby. I feel bad singling this guy out because, like I said, it's so common. So many people on TikTok do this exact same shit. Like, I'm such a bad boy, I would take you to a drive-thru and I wouldn't let you pay for your meal because I'm bad. I'd be a bad boyfriend. But the reason I chose him is because he has whole compilations dedicated to these videos because he's done so many of them. And it just made it easy to have like a nice cum dumpster full of these bad versus good boyfriend things. So anyway, I just wanted to briefly touch on this because I think it's super weird. I know it's not like uncommon for people to be like, I'm actually super shitty at being in relationships because I'm just too goddamn nice. Nice guys don't win, am I right, girls? Yeah, I see a lot of that shit, and then this is kind of the same thing. Like, I'm a bad boyfriend because I just want to love a girl, and girls don't want to be loved. They want an asshole douchebag, so I'd be a bad boyfriend. I see it all over the place, and this guy, he's just done it so many times, I figured it'd be a good example to talk about the trend and go into detail on it. Yeah, so that's really about it. So yeah. A clout-obsessed goofball on TikTok just ate parasites for views. He turned his stomach into Coachella for tapeworms when he knowingly ate tapeworms out of a fish that he was filleting, which to the surprise of no one apparently gave him a very serious parasitic infection here. Who could have seen that coming? He was eating tapeworms out of the fish like it was popcorn. I'm exaggerating a little bit. He did try to cook it to make it a little safer, but then I'll get into it a bit deeper in a moment. I'm getting into spoilers here for the anime arc. But anyway, his name is Nick, and his insatiable appetite for great high-quality fish was eclipsed by his gluttony for TikTok attention. I learned about this from a YouTuber named Atozy, so I appreciate him shedding light on this story because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So let's just get into it. Actually, pump the brakes real quick, hold your horses. Sorry for the blue balls. In Atozy's video, he censors the part that shows the tapeworms because there's a lot of blood there, because obviously he's filleting a fish, so there's going to be blood. I don't know if you have to do that on YouTube, but I'm not going to for this. I feel if I don't show the tapeworms, then there's always going to be that question in the back of people's mind on, is it fake? Because most things on the internet are fake these days, but this one, I don't think is. It would be very impressive props here to have a fish with tapeworms that look like this.
Let's go fishing in the hurricane. I'm gonna be using a whopper flopper, which is a topwater lure. This guy's coming in at 13 inches and a quarter. He has some nice fillets on him. There's blowing all over the place. Realizing that he has tapeworms, so it's gonna be pretty tough to eat. I looked it up, and apparently if you cook the fish thoroughly, the tapeworms shouldn't affect you, but I can't say that I'm not experiencing problems after I ate it.
So everything was business as usual here. Nick is a big TikTok creator. He has over 6 million followers, and it was just a normal filleting of a fish until he saw the tapeworms, and then, oh boy howdy, he got some dollar signs in his eyes, and he started to recognize that that is the gold right there. He just got the jackpot, because now he had something that he could do that's a little different that would generate some views for him. Eat the tapeworms. Because for some reason, everyone's like so poisoned with content brain that even something that is detrimental to your health, like eating a tapeworm, is something that people think is a good idea because it'll get extra views with people pointing and laughing at you or calling you an idiot, and that's all that matters is if you're getting extra attention. So he does it.
This is the fillet I got. I seasoned it, threw it in the pan, and then presented it right next to the tapeworms, which was a mistake. Yo, low-key, like, the tapeworms add some flavor. They're pretty good. This might be TMI. It's been 2 days and I've not stopped going to the bathroom. I'm kind of afraid that I literally have tapeworms in my stomach. I've never gone to the bathroom this much in my life. I'm mildly concerned. If you know anything about this in the comments, please let me know because I am kind of afraid that I have a parasite.
Hey Nick, I'm not a medical professional, but you ate tapeworms, so I'm going to say with a high level of confidence, you probably contracted a parasite. But, you know, I'm not highly educated when it comes to parasites. I'm just doing the old eyeball test here. Now, you can shit all over Nick like he's a public toilet seat. You can make fun of him for a lot of different things here for all the fuck-ups with eating the tapeworms, but one thing you can't hold against him, one thing you can't say he did wrong, was his presentation. He has a talent for plating. I tell ya, that technique was flawless. The way he presented the fillet and the tapeworms was exquisite. That's something Gordon Ramsay would give his stamp of approval to. That was S-tier plating right there. It's just a shame that he was plating a tapeworm buffet.
Update on the tapeworms that I ate the other day. I went to the doctor and he said it is more than likely that I have tapeworm or some kind of parasite inside me. I'm going to the bathroom nonstop. My stomach is killing me. He prescribed me 3 different medications that are anti-parasitic. We've all seen that video of the bear that has like a 50-foot tapeworm coming out of his butt, and that literally could have been me if I didn't get to the doctor in time.
I've never seen that video, Nick. I don't even know why you'd assume that I'd see that video. I'm not looking up bear ass, and certainly not infected bear ass. But now that I've seen the clip, what a wacky one, huh? Jesus Christ. That tapeworm leaking out of its anus, that looks like it's just landed after skydiving. Like, it looks like the parachute strings when you're, like, walking away with your parachute bag and all that hanging out. That is a crazy tapeworm. Is that some kind of world record, or is that kind of normal? I don't really look into, you know, parasites all that often, shockingly.
The doctor didn't know what kind of worm it was, so he just like gave me all the different anti-parasitic things. Some of the worms cause seizure, muscle damage, and like you can lose your eyesight because the worms get in there. If there is any lesson you learned from this, it would be do not eat worms inside of a bath.
A lesson I didn't think anyone ever needed to be taught. I feel like that's just basic, common human knowledge that everyone would intrinsically be born with. The only reason you ate them is because your mind is so warped and rotted from all of this desire for more and more TikTok attention that for some reason you were able to justify putting your health at risk here. Now, interestingly, it only gets worse from here. So he went to the doctor, apparently got, you know, some medication to help combat the mystery worm inside of him, even though I don't think it's much of a mystery. If I was playing a game of Guess Who, I think I'd get this one on my first guess. I think the culprit is a tapeworm. I'll take the mask off of the villain here like it's Scooby-Doo. I think it's a tapeworm that you've contracted. Yeah, just a hunch. But anyway, he gets the medication. He's now got a plan of attack here to get himself feeling better. And then something very, very interesting happens. This video gets posted.
Update on the tapeworm situation with Nick. 7:30 this morning, Nick passed away at the Kaiser Hospital. I was with him over the last 24 hours and he wanted me to inform you guys on the situation. Nick was on anti-parasitic medication and unfortunately it was not working. The worm spread to his eyes and brain. By the time we made it to the hospital, it was clear that Nick was not going to be able to make it.
That's when the really dramatic organ music comes in. Doom! So he didn't survive, apparently. So this is a friend of his, I guess, announcing that he passed away from the tapeworms that he contracted from eating the fish. Much to the chagrin of his audience, who was very upset, saying things like, you know, fly high, Nick, you know, rest in peace, this and that. It's just a real sad situation to see someone go down this way.
Tomorrow Eternal Funeral Services is where we're going to be hosting something for Nick at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. It is going to be an open casket. He wanted you to know. Hopefully you guys can all remember him fondly and I'll be seeing you guys all at the service.
I apologize for the trauma I just gave you guys. I assure you I'm happy, I'm here, and I'm going to be making content for a very long time.
Oh my god, it's a miracle! He's not dead! Oh, we've been fooled! He played us like a fiddle. Wow! You know, just like Dino Spumoni, he faked his own death here with the ultimate goof. So, this is the cringiest shit ever. What's even wilder is the day before, or I don't know if it was exactly the day before, but the video before this, he actually had posted something about losing his brother, talking about the death of his brother here. And I think that one's being truthful. I don't think that one's also some kind of sick fucking twisted joke. So that's some psychopath shit to go from talking about the death of your brother into misleading your audience of children into thinking that you're dead. Now, no one watches the full video for things. Not on YouTube, not on TikTok. People don't even read past the headline on an article on Twitter before, you know, clicking off and already making up their mind about it. So not many people watch the whole video for when Nick came out of nowhere with a patriotic, heroic return. So most people just assume that the guy talking in the beginning here was being honest. You know, like they just took him at his word because they don't know any better. They're young kids on TikTok. It was also super weird that they just dropped a funeral service homepage and told people that there was a celebration of life, a funeral taking place there for Nick. And like I said, a lot of people didn't watch the whole video, so I'm curious if anyone actually showed up to that place expecting a service.
Don't cancel me, Nick made me do it.
The anti-parasitic medication did work, guys. I am feeling a lot better. I am editing this video right now, and it is definitely the wildest publicity stunt I've ever done. I have officially faked my own death.
I made a joke about Dino Spumoni, which is a reference to Hey Arnold. It's a guy who actually did fake his own death. That's not what you did, though. You didn't fake your own death. All you did was just lie. Like for only like 20 seconds, too. You just had your friend come out and say that you were dead. It's not faking your own death. That's just like a really lazy, lame prank. Like, that's like the pranks I would do on April Fool's Day in middle school when I'd tell my friends Dragon Ball Z spoilers that weren't real. Like, it's just, it's just dumb. Like, it's not some clever, crafty plot that you've hatched, like some genius plan to fool everybody. I think there's a good chance the tapeworms weren't actually defeated and his friend is right. The worm spread to his brain. Because you have to have brain worms to have come up with this idea. It's so fucking stupid and weird.
I'm really happy that you guys are holding me accountable for this because creators lying to their audiences is not cool, especially in the manner that I did. I was under the impression that because I was at the end of the video that it would wind up being taken as a lighthearted joke. I should have definitely seen that that was a super foolish take. It was just dumb.
Yeah, he followed it up with this apology video. His audience said, too much cringe, I'm out, lame joke, trash, goodbye. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm sorry. This was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking, it was stupid. You know, I can't tell you how effective it was. I'm not overly familiar with Nick outside of the tapeworms saga here. But yeah, I just wanted to cover this story because it's just a perfect example of how delusional people have become, that they will put their health at risk just for the sake of a couple extra views on TikTok, and then follow through with even stupider plans like pretending that you died for like 20 seconds, I guess for the sake of shock views or something. I don't really know, but it's just all very stupid. I want to talk about it. That's about it. See ya. Another day, another awful TikTok challenge. The one we're talking about today is Devious Licks. And I actually think this is worse than the Tide Pod challenge, if you guys remember that, where kids were just eating Tide Pods and killing themselves or burning their stomachs. I actually think Devious Licks is worse than that, because at least Tide Pods, they're only hurting themselves. Devious Licks is just a massive inconvenience to everyone around them. So what is Devious Licks? It fucking sounds like a Harry Potter book, like Harry Potter and the Devious Licks. It sounds like a Death Grips album title. It's a really stupid name, but basically, it's a TikTok trend where kids in high school were going into their bathrooms and just stealing shit. So stealing soap dispensers, stealing entire sinks, stealing urinals, stealing the actual shitters themselves. There were actual kids just unscrewing the shitter, used, poopied, pee-peed in toilet, stealing that and taking it with them to their house. I can only imagine the immeasurable disappointment the parents must feel when they find that hidden treasure their kid brought home, because it's gonna smell like asshole. It's a fucking toilet. So they walk in there and they see that their kid's not only a thief, but the dumbest thief on earth. They stole a useless biological hazard. You can't even sell the toilet. Like, there's nothing you can do with it except just throw it away. Now, Devious Licks wasn't limited to just stealing. No. It was much more elaborate than that, because if you couldn't steal something from your bathroom, you just destroy everything. You go full caveman brain and just break everything and call it a Devious Lick. So that's basically the trend. And as it continued to grow, it transcended the quarantine zone of the high school bathroom. It went from the bathroom to just the school in general, so they started stealing things like sinks outside of the bathroom, they'd steal lockers, they'd steal cars. It basically was just vandalism at the school property, and this shit's been fucking wild. The only thing I've ever stolen from school is this little bad boy right here, and I had to go out of my way to find him, but I remember stealing this. It's a little snowman Pez dispenser. He's pretty playful, he's pretty cool. Not really a devious lick, but I felt bad about it ever since. I stole that from a teacher's desk, I remember, because I thought it was just kind of cool because there was Pez in it, and it was like, yeah, that's kind of nice. So I took it, and God, the guilt has been overwhelming ever since. I pray to God every night that he forgives me for the sin. Can only imagine what these heathens are going through. But anyway, this has become such a widespread thing that entire towns are going in lockdown at their schools, fucking sounding the emergency sirens like aliens have arrived. It's DEFCON red alert out here. Devious Licks is the boogeyman that's marched into town. So the way some of the schools are dealing with this is absolutely amazing. I read about a couple schools that just outright banned using the bathroom during school hours without an approved time for it. So they had to take a field trip to the bathroom, and if you have to go before that field trip time, you're just going to shit and piss in your britches. Like, those trousers are going to get soiled because they don't want to take the chance, because it got so bad at those schools that they just outright forbid using the bathroom outside of their designated field trip bathroom time. And then the more common one that I'm seeing is you are not allowed to use the bathroom without a school-approved chaperone to be there to make sure that you're not doing anything devious in there. These are high schoolers, mind you, and their brains have been rotted so drastically by TikTok that they're now not allowed to use the bathroom without a fucking bodyguard to monitor them, because they can't be trusted to behave themselves while tinkling. It's crazy. Now, I wanted to show you a few devious licks that I found on TikTok, but I didn't record them in time. TikTok has banned all devious licks and the accounts associated with most of them, so all of those are now just lost to the fucking cyberspace, the cyber shadow realm. So I'm just going to show you a short compilation from Know Your Meme that did like a few of the bigger ones that were viral on TikTok, so that way you can at least get an idea of what these looked like.
Licks refers to a trend where TikTokers steal school equipment and flaunt it like trophies for all of TikTok to see, with everything from soap dispensers to security cameras on the line. The trend began on September 6th when a TikToker posted a video pulling a hand sanitizer dispenser from a backpack alongside the text, "Only a month into school," and got this absolute devious lick, as if celebrating school's return with the steal. The video got high school and college kids around TikTok excited, and within days, users were going viral left and right, showing off their devious licks, aka stolen goods. Some examples include a full microscope, a computer, a functioning paper towel dispenser, and an entire fire alarm ripped right from the wall. Some have taken the trend outside school walls.
As the guy mentioned, it did go beyond schools. Kids started stealing shit from all over the place and just calling it a devious lick, like movie theaters, churches, and things like that. So it wasn't just limited to schools, but that was absolutely the bulk of it. And it's been in the headlines for the last couple of days because it has been a huge deal for a lot of schools. It causes a lot in damage, and it's a massive inconvenience to the entire class because you're missing fucking entire toilets, A, and B, your school now has to have designated pee-pee times. So you better hope that your bathroom schedule lines up with the school's now. So obviously these kids were pretty proud of the things they stole, so they weren't shy of showing their names and faces with a lot of the shit, which has of course led to a lot of kids getting expelled for it. Imagine getting expelled because you were competing in a TikTok challenge to steal your school's paper towels. Like, how pathetic. Now, the thing is, you don't make any money off this, so these kids were doing it just for this idea, this wet dream of clout. On TikTok, these accounts weren't making anything. You have to like sign up for a TikTok partner program, and even then I think it's like $1 per 10 million views, which these were not getting, by the way, except for a couple. So it's not like they were really making money from doing this. They got expelled for nothing and got laughed at online by everyone except the brainwashed douchebags that were cheering them on in the TikTok comments. So that like brief dopamine hit of, oh, look at these 10 likes on TikTok, was probably not worth getting expelled, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I just haven't felt that true euphoric dopamine from a devious lick. You know, maybe that's what I'm missing. But yeah, a lot of these students have been expelled. They've been identified and publicly shamed in a lot of cases, so yeah, pretty rough, but they did it to themselves. It's a stupid fucking trend. It's really dumb. Somehow the bar keeps getting lower and lower for TikTok. Like, the second you think they hit rock bottom with the worst content ever, they find a way to break through that plateau and find something even more stupid and fucking awful. But yeah, I imagine now that TikTok has banned devious licks, it's going to die right then and there, because obviously they were only doing this for attention online, and since they won't be able to get that fixed, they won't bother. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were stealing from the bathroom just for the love of the sport. They just fucking loved collecting used urinals, you know? Like, hey, Charlie, don't you ever fucking say that again. I don't care about the TikTok clout. I stole this urinal because I fucking love to drink out of it. It's a great goblet. This is my new chalice. You know, I guess it's possible. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that love that shit. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe a month from now, every bathroom near a high school will just be completely ransacked and dilapidated, and written in blood on the wall it'll say devious licks. You know, who knows? I imagine it's probably done now that it's banned, but we'll see. That's about it. See ya. On TikTok there lives many evils, some cringe, some criminal. Just like the Force with the Jedi and the Sith, there exists a balance. And today, we're gonna tiptoe and tap dance all over that line between cringe and criminal as we look at a completely deplorable individual named Madison who hatched a diabolical scheme to fake cancer, apparently with the goal of getting her family back together. At least according to her, that's the statement she made in court as to the motive behind faking cancer. Which, if that really was the goal of it, that is a worse plan than anything Ed, Edd n Eddy ever hatched for jawbreakers back in the day. It makes no sense, but basically, she faked cancer, eventually started getting, like, public speaking gigs, I suppose. She documented her battle with it in an attempt to, like, uplift people, I suppose. She also made a GoFundMe which collected like $37,000, which turns this whole thing from just a complete fabrication for the sake of attention, possibly, into a full-blown scam where she was taking money from people under a complete lie. And then eventually the whole house of cards came crumbling down after an investigation concluded that she made everything up. Now, I can't find the first videos she started to post about this. It only exists, from what I can find, in a Ray William Johnson video he just posted covering this, so I'm just going to show you a clip from that.
They found a mass on my pancreas, and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
Oh, but that's not even the worst part. She also had leukemia.
The 5-year outlook of survival is a slim 11%.
But does all this stop Madison? No way. She sees it as an opportunity to document her battle and uplift others.
What an incredibly evil thing to lie about. Now, of course, she's far from the only person on the cyberspace to lie about having cancer. In fact, there was a really recent story I just talked about like a month ago about a poker player who lied about having terminal cancer in order to raise money to enter a poker tournament. But anyway, back to Madison. So she posted a lot of update content going over what was happening, and this includes photos that she would take. Photos that she would stage, since she didn't actually have cancer. And I can't find a ton of them. The only one that I can find that was a big smoking gun is, again, from Ray William Johnson's video. So he's got, like, all of the old artifacts here to preserve the story, I guess. So I'll show you a picture of it here, which is this. And a lot of medical professionals saw this and noticed that there was some very fishy shit going on here. It was starting to raise some red flags, sound the alarm bells that, uh-oh, this may not be a case of her having cancer, but instead an undiagnosed case of terminal clout disease. God rest her soul. So the medical professionals pointed out a lot of things that just didn't make sense about the photo. Some inconsistencies, not even using real medical tape, just a laundry list of problems with the photo, and anonymously reported it as suspicious. It got the attention of the Eldridge Police Department, and they conducted an investigation, eventually subpoenaed for medical records from Madison, and found that she'd never been diagnosed with any kind of cancer or tumor from any medical facilities. So it turns out her cancer diagnosis is about as real as Goatman, which is to say, not real at all. Sorry to all the Goatman enthusiasts out there, I don't mean to burst your bubble. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. He's not real. But what is real is this mugshot right here. Madison was arrested in January. I also didn't mention that even outside of like that one big photo that a lot of people pointed out and heavily scrutinized for inconsistencies, she was posting other photos that weren't hers, apparently. She would use photos from actual cancer patients and post them as if they were her updates, which is unbelievably evil. Like, the whole thing is so genuinely disgustingly evil, but like, to me, when I learned that portion of it, I couldn't believe just how low she sunk for this. Also, it was recommended that Madison not face prison time because she didn't have criminal history and had good grades in college, was employed, which made her less likely to reoffend. Which I think is a bunch of baloney. What a load of dirty barnacles. What do her good grades in college have to do with anything here and her ability to lie about having cancer again? No, she'll never do this again. Wait, look at her report card. She has an A in kinesiology. Obviously, she's not going to pull this stunt again. Don't be ridiculous. No prison time at all. She's learned her lesson. Just slap her on the wrist, send her home. So, someone spoke up about that. Her name is Rhonda Miles, and she runs a pancreatic cancer foundation in Nashville, and they actually donated to Madison and testified at the hearing. It was devastating to sit there and watch Scott County prosecuting attorney act like a defending attorney, so that was tough. And I think she'll have a lot of questions to answer from the locals on that at some point. Why are you defending this girl when you were supposed to be prosecuting? I couldn't agree more. This is not something that is just some whoops-a-daisy mistake kind of silly, stupid, quirky, dumb decision that a young person makes. It's not. This is a cold, calculated, evil plan that she did make like $39,000 from. I don't know why they took it so lightly here. But anyway, before I get to what her sentencing looked like, why don't I let you hear from her herself when she talked about this in court.
20-year-old Madison Russo pleaded guilty to a charge of first-degree theft after police said she pretended to have cancer and received donations online.
I didn't do this for money or greed. I didn't do this for attention. I did this in an attempt to try and get my family back together.
I saw a comment point something out pretty profoundly. It said her plan was to get the family back together, and it worked. They all came to court with her. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's pretty accurate. She never said how the family was going to come back together, so, you know. But I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like if the plan was to get the family back together, why the fuck are you making a GoFundMe and making money off of it, right? Plus, let's just assume that your nefarious plan you cooked up worked and your family all did come together to support you. It's absolutely going to crumble when you don't go to doctors to get your treatment, right? So if the family came together, they would immediately know that you are a lying sack of shit, because you would not be going to any of these treatment facilities, and they'd want to support you, right? So they would immediately know that something is wrong since you're not actually getting any treatment from any medical professionals. It doesn't make sense. So I don't think that was the real motive. That was just trying to weasel her way out of a very, very serious situation here because she scammed people out of $39,000. Now, she was ordered to repay that money that was donated to her, which is good. So all of the people who donated money, I believe, got money back for it. So it's at least a nice conclusion for them. They didn't just lose out on that forever.
The judge sentenced Russo to a suspended sentence of 10 years. That means she won't go to jail unless she gets in trouble in the future, but it will go on her record.
And basically she received probation, where as long as she doesn't do anything stinky again in the next 3 years, she won't go to jail. But if she does reoffend and do something bad, then she will. Overall, I think she got off pretty easy from this. Oh, I forgot to mention she has 100 hours of community service work, which, you know, that's not exactly the harshest punishment here to fit the crime, if you ask me. To deceive people with a lie like this here and rake in $39,000 with people that believe they're supporting a cancer patient who's going through an incredibly intense battle is so sickeningly disgusting. And I cannot believe how light the sentencing on not only her case, but cases similar to this have been in the past. Like I said, she's not the only one to do this. She's actually far from the only one to do this. But for some reason, they never actually face big repercussions for it. And I guess I just don't really understand why, because it is still a big, very lucrative scam that they're engaging in. It's highly illegal. So why is it always so light with the punishment? I don't know. Sometimes they don't even face punishment. There's been a couple of times in the past online where people have faked cancer, got a bunch of donations, and then just left, vanished. And they, you know, come back a couple of years later, pretend it never happened, and they're just fine. They don't get in any trouble or anything. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. But yeah, I wanted to go over this pretty evil case here of a TikToker being a big ol' sack of shit. That's about it. So yeah. Why, hello there. This is one of the rare serious videos. Why? I just want to know why. This video I'd like to directly aim at any active TikTok power users over the age of 18. I simply just want to know why. What is the purpose of it all? What's your ulterior motive? For those of you who don't know, and I know none of you don't know, every single one of you fucking knows what TikTok is. Kids being born these days know TikTok before their fucking alphabet. It's the biggest thing on the planet. It's apparently worth like $600 billion. It's insane. It's fucking insane how big it is. But is it really? Jackson and I have been speculating, fucking tinfoil hatting it, and just really trying to wrap our heads around, can this actually be legitimate? I understand the appeal to a younger demographic. That I get, to a certain extent. I would never have used it when I was a kid. I don't see why younger people find it cool, but I understand that it's geared towards that demographic. But then you have like the people my age and older. You have fucking geriatrics patients doing the whip and nay-nay to the I want to be Tracer, I'm already Genji, I'd butt fuck Diva, oh Nerf Bastion. I just don't get it. I'm trying to understand. At 24, that's how old I am. I'm 24 is not that old, but in 2018 it feels fucking ancient. I feel like a goddamn fossil. I already don't understand most of mainstream music. I don't get the appeal of listening to something that sounds like a highly distorted wet fart into a plastic trash can with some horrible lyricism thrown on it about like fucking flexing and staying lit. It's baffling. But TikTok is the biggest enigma of them all. I would sooner understand string theory and prove it before I understood the appeal of TikTok and the scale. I truly just don't understand it. I'm gonna go ahead and blast your assholes here with some fine TikTok trends real quick that I'm certain all of you have already seen, because Thousands of YouTubers shit on them ad nauseum daily. It's the lowest hanging fruit on the internet. I'm not brave by asking the question or insulting TikTok, but someone's gotta fucking pose this directly to the people. You older generation that are making TikTok content, your TikTok queefs. Why? You use the internet, you see the insults on YouTube, you don't make this shit ironically, it doesn't seem. Are you getting paid by TikTok to make this? I feel like you are. I feel like they're inflating their numbers by paying up-and-coming actors to overact this shit and try and get trends to catch on. That's just speculation. I can't prove that. Don't take me to court, TikTok. It's not slander. It's not libel.
In your ears and make the la la sound.
Hit or miss, I guess they never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, I bet he doesn't kiss ya. He gon'
I'll be Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're right, so Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose.
That was inspiring, right? Makes you want to crank that soldier boy, hit the stanky leg, and have your father film it for that TikTok clout, don't it? I just don't understand it. The biggest thing that really confuses me and makes me skeptical of the entire platform is the numbers on them. Any TikTok page you click on is going to have millions of fans. Old Pop Wiggle Wiener down over there at his barn making fucking barnyard rodeo TikTok videos probably has like 10 million followers. And that's on the low end of the TikTok fame side. The sheer numbers on that platform are so unbelievable that I genuinely have a hard time believing them. It's incredible. Every video you click on, millions of likes. Hundreds and thousands of comments that are typically just one emoji, the fire emoji. If you read the reviews on TikTok, there's some people pointing out fake reviews, and there's some really suspicious reviews on there that are just like, this is lit, fire. This is cool, fire, fire. This is amazing, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Mom left dad again, and I don't think she's coming back, but I have TikTok, exclamation point, fire. It's weird, it's fishy. It's a little bit odd how a brand new service, pretty much, is as big as it is. Every government in the world could collectively come together and say, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving away $10,000 for free to every single one of you citizens out there that download this specific app, the We Heart Government app, and that app would have less downloads than TikTok. I just don't get it. So I want this. Yeah, I don't know what I want from this. I don't know. No TikTok user is going to publicly talk about why they use TikTok, I don't think. Thank you, Tetra. No TikTok user is going to come out and say why they use it or how much they're being paid by TikTok to use it. Because it's unethical. And that'd ruin the credibility of TikTok as a platform, so I understand why they won't. But I'm on to you, TikTok. I was the one that fucking discovered your shitty platform on YouTube. I was the one that started shitting on you. I am the patient zero of shitting on TikTok. Everyone else is simply just another victim of being exposed to the outbreak. But I was the one who dove in to your fungal infected cesspool of shit content and really weird predatory shit and shit on it first. That was me. And now I'm coming back to finish the rim job. I'm closing the book on it. So please, if you or a loved one or someone you know suffers from creating horrible TikTok content, please get help. Tell us why. Admit it. Please, just explain it to me. I have to understand. It's fucking 5 a.m. I don't even know why I bothered making this. Just fucking having cold sweats at 5 a.m. thinking about TikTok and its popularity and how I'm not cool because I don't use it, I guess. But I need to know. I have to understand. I just really can't fathom a universe where this generation is going to look back on TikTok 50 years from now fondly and be like, yeah, that was some good shit. That was TikTok before it took over the, global government. They used to be such a humble platform full of great things, and now they rule the earth. I just can't imagine people would ever think TikTok is as cool as it appears to be. Doesn't appear to be cool. That's not what I'm looking for. I just can't imagine that people actually unironically use TikTok for the most part, and that it's as big as it seems. I just don't fucking get it, man. It just makes no fucking sense to me. Alright, see ya. Yeah, it's only been a couple days since I talked about the NPC TikTok live streaming trend, and it is completely out of control now. It's spreading faster than the bubonic plague, and it's significantly worse for your health. It is tragic that this is the state of entertainment now. I don't blame any of the streamers hopping on this trend because it's an infinite money cheat code right now. This is a non-stop avalanche that's only gathering more and more steam, but instead of it being an avalanche with snow, it's an avalanche with doubloons. This is legitimately free money because people, for some reason, are just throwing all of their allowance, all the schmeckles from their pockets at every single TikTok streamer that's doing this NPC trend. I'm confident all of you have heard and seen this trend by now, but just in case, I'll introduce you to the patient zero that started this NPC streaming outbreak.
Grab, fire, fire, meow, hee-haw, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me write it, huh? Oh, thank you, Fruity, I love you. Balloon. That was good. Coconut. Hee-haw, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me grab.
This is Pinky Doll, and with the rate at which she's growing from this trend, she'll end up being more well-known than the Bible at this point. She has exploded from this. 50,000 viewers during her most recent NPC stream, and apparently, according to reports, eyewitness accounts, she went for 5 hours of doing that non-stop. Can never fault the work ethic there. That is some fucking iron will. That is a certified top 10 anime never give up moment right there. 5 hours of just repeating the same emotes forever. Literally just spamming taunts in a fighting game for 5 hours like this. That's not easy. That's beyond mind-rotting. But that's where the money's at right now. She has blasted a new market wide open here with weirdos that want to watch NPC streams forever. So it's really smart from her to capitalize off this, especially considering I imagine it won't last for too much longer. This is absolutely one of those lightning in a bottle situations. I would be shocked. And I've been wrong before. It's rare, but I have been wrong, like the time I thought I got bit by a bat watching Jurassic World in theaters, and it turned out I had just fallen asleep and had a nightmare. Point is, I have been wrong. And I don't think I'm wrong here. I believe this trend will probably fizzle out and die like a sad little wet fart within about another week or two. Two at most. I just really don't envision a world where kids will continue to keep coming back to these because it's the same thing every single time. Though, I'm going to go ahead and argue with myself here. On the flip side of that coin, kids do just endlessly loop Finger Family videos and Elsa making out with Spider-Man shit and you know, Crazy Shark or whatever his name is. Left Shark, I think is what it is. Baby Shark. Christ. Like, they do subject themselves to the exact same things on repeat forever, so maybe this will have legs for quite some time. I'm not really sure, but regardless, it's smart from Pinky Doll to keep striking while the iron is hot, because she is making a fat stack of cash from all of this here. And again, she's not alone. This has become the biggest trend right now. Either people hopping on ironically and then still doing it for like hours and then doing it multiple streams, or just people fully shamelessly copying and doing exactly what she does. If you go on TikTok and just scroll through live streams, pretty much all of them are this. There's been a bunch of videos posted of it, so I'll just show you clips from a couple of them that keep floating around of people that just scroll through TikTok lives, and it's literally every single one of them doing NPC streams.
Guys, thank you all for the likes. I appreciate it. The roses. 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 Roses.
The clip goes on for a lot longer, but I want to quickly interrupt before getting back to it. That roses to roses true combo there was actually fucking wild. That wasn't planned or anything from the person who posted this, I don't think, because they were just scrolling, I believe. So that just happened naturally. Like, that's how formulaic the NPC streams are. They're pretty much the same thing, just repeated forever. And they all generate a lot of attention from the audience, like thousands upon thousands of viewers for pretty much every creator that's hopping on board, as well as a ton of money, because again, the trend is NPCs acting out their emojis that people are donating. So they're getting donated roses, so it's smelling the roses. Roses! 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 Oh, roses! 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 Like, across the board forever. It's always the exact same shit for everyone doing it, and it's highly successful for them. And the audiences, for some reason, find it very entertaining and satisfying, which is concerning. It's the perfect illustration of just how bad for the human attention span TikTok is. Like, this is some fucking embarrassing shit for the future generations here. Because this content, the NPC streams, is basically just resetting the human brain to default factory settings. It's making you devolve to baby brain. Watching this is like watching parents play peekaboo with their baby. Peekaboo? Peekaboo? And then the audience is like, every time. Every single time, even though it doesn't change. It's fucking wild.
Hello, I am AI.
Rebooting. System rebooting. Thank you for your...
GG. Thank you for the share.
Live.
Queen Slang. Hi, Zaza.
A couple of those were scrolled to a little too quickly to really recognize that they were NPC streams, but they were. Like, if you slow it down, like one of them that went by really quick, they did have the hair iron out with the kernel in it, popping individual popcorn, just like Pinky Doll does in the NPC streams. Everyone on TikTok is trying to get in on this infinite money glitch. And the content itself is legitimately just perpetual stimulation, jingling keys, making as much noise as possible, as often as possible. And it's working. You can see how effective it is, which is so fucking sad. Again, not for the people doing it here, because it's a free bag, and basically they just have to be the little clown honking their nose in order to make the children laugh by saying the same shit every single time for emojis that come through in the donations. I don't really get it. I'm not a fucking psychologist here, but if I was to spitball a guess, maybe this is like an audience of people that didn't get a lot of attention growing up, like their parents didn't play peekaboo with them, or Here Comes the Airplane with their vegetables, and seeing someone do something similar is kind of filling that missing piece in their soul, and that's why they keep coming back every single NPC stream and watching and donating to all of them. That would be my guess, but again, I can't really sit here and psychoanalyze every single spectator of this new sport and try and understand the inner machinations of their complex noodles out there. It's a little beyond my pay grade. I don't fully understand it, but I respect the people that are on the grind making a ton of money off of a wacky trend like this. I've also heard a lot of other people refer to this as an NPC fetish, which again could be true, maybe, I suppose. That there's maybe some merit to that claim, but I'm also not a fetish scientist, so I'm pretty in the dark on that one too. But regardless, one thing that's inarguable, it's extremely successful, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, it's only growing in popularity. But again, I do think that its days are numbered. I don't think it's going to last that much longer, so anyone that's on the NPC trend, you gotta stick this shit out for as long as possible. Fucking grip it as hard as you can in order to just continue to squeeze it for a little extra juice. Also, I mentioned that it's not easy to do this because it's not. Like, it's super simple, but it's not easy. It's many hours of just repeating yourself forever. But what I am surprised I haven't seen more of, and maybe it's just because I don't watch the NPC streams, I only see what gets posted online for the frequency of it. What I'm surprised that more people aren't doing is just recording maybe like 15 minutes of you going through all of these emotes like, thank you, fire, fire, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, all of that. Do that for maybe 10 minutes, and then just loop the video on a TikTok live stream. TikTok live streams are filled with fucking scams already. It's a fucking cesspool of scams. And one of the scams that people do is fake live streams where they just loop a video like that. I'm surprised people haven't been doing that for this trend, especially considering how easy it would be to do that. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be sitting there and recognizing like, oh, they didn't react to the roses. Oh my god, they didn't react to the dumbbell. Wait a minute, this is fake. And even if they did, what are they going to do about it? TikTok doesn't shut that shit down. They haven't shut down any of the scam streams, so I'm just surprised that that hasn't become more prevalent with this trend, but maybe it's just because I haven't been paying that much attention to the actual streams. Maybe this is super common and most people are faking it. That's very possible, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it is completely fucking out of control with how big this has become. That's about it. So yeah. I'm sure most of you have heard of the carnivore diet by now. It's not exactly so much a diet anymore as it is just a full-blown personality that people adopt, a full lifestyle now where their whole identity is, I only eat meat. And oftentimes it consists of consuming a lot of raw meat. And I've always just been fascinated by this raw meat eating community because I just don't get how they're not, like, plagued by trichinosis and infested with countless tapeworms, like an absolute nightclub of tapeworms in their gut. Because for me, if I eat a potato chip that's one day past the sell-by date, I get sick. Like, I get an irpy stomach. But meanwhile, they're out there consuming fermented meat that they leave out in the sun until it becomes what they call high meat, which is literally just fucking rotted poison meat. And they'll just eat that and they're totally fine somehow. It blows my mind. But anyway, I'm getting carried away. The reason I'm talking about carnivores today is because there's one that's blowing up on TikTok right now because they've made a spectacle out of their meat eating. And make no mistake, this guy eats more meat than an Aiden Ross fan. He's posted like hundreds of TikToks now doing like these goofy meat eating stunts. And I call them stunts, but it's not like he's doing a backflip while eating a beef liver or something like that. The stunts he does is like, I'll cook a steak in a sink and then I'll eat it and shit like that. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of the content because it's been getting big on Twitter as well. I had to cut out the music, but it's him making this steak in a sink and then eating a stick of butter with it. It's revolting. I couldn't imagine a worse meal or an easier way of contracting some kind of foodborne illness. But this is the content. He is legitimately consuming that. He's not spitting it out, he seems to be enjoying it as if this is an average meal for him that makes his tummy smile. Like, it is mind-blowing. And don't you worry, of course this guy is going to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. He gets every morsel of food in there. I do want to point out that it's extremely possible and even highly likely that he didn't actually eat the steak that was being cooked by the hot water in the sink. We don't see him grab that steak and put it on the plate. He could have swapped that out for a normally cooked steak. But I mean, he still ate a full fucking stick of butter in that case, which is just a gross idea in and of itself. And I wanted to talk about it because not only is it just wild and wacky, but I'm also pretty sure the guy behind the account is very self-aware with what he's doing and he's just made it like his gimmick. But what's crazy is he's so committed to the bit in the character that he actually does eat raw testicles. He eats full sticks of butter. He actually consumes it. But I'm almost confident, like 100% confident, that he knows it's like a joke and he's playing a character. I've never seen someone do so much method acting in my life, if that is truly the case, if I'm correct about that. Like, he has made his carnivore diet more of like a freak show thing. So he's making testicle butter pops, where he takes a raw testicle, puts a stick of butter in it, and bites it, for example.
Guys, if you have never had a testicle butter dog, you need to try this. Raw testicle with a little sliver of butter on the inside. There is seriously nothing better. This is going to give you all the signaling molecules to get you bucked up and the healthy fats, support your brain and your hormones. This is my favorite snack.
I'd also like to point out here that it's extremely possible he spit that out right after the TikTok finished. He just projectile vomited it out. We don't actually see him swallow it. I really do think, based on the way he talks and some of the things he says in the videos, that this whole thing is supposed to be a comedy persona that he's adopted and fucking giving his all to, out there at 110%. I'd like to give you an example on what I think is like the most obvious case of him kidding around with this whole thing, but it's very weird even still. Even if I'm right, it's still weird regardless. But this is a video he made where it's like some kind of bull penis snack.
Silly rabbit, Pizzles are for kids. Today we're making my favorite breakfast cereal, Pizzle-O's. This will have the kids begging for it. By now you guys know I'm a huge fan of bull pizzle recipes, so all you're going to do, you guys know this by now, you're going to put your penis in a pot of boiling water. And it's going to take a while, so be patient. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And before I do anything, I always rub my pee-pee with butter. And then you're going to cut it up nice and fine. Again, nobody wants to choke on the pizzle, so make sure they are nice and small. And this one still had a little junk in the tubes, but that's totally fine. It just adds to the flavor, and it just tastes so good, in my opinion. And once you're done, you're just going to add it to your bowl, and you can add a little bit of milk, but I like it straight. Let me know how you like this recipe.
I think it's super creepy that he keeps mentioning kids when talking about the penis snack, saying that the kids will be begging for it. I think that's super creepy regardless of the intention of the videos. But I do think this one is a clear demonstration that this is all supposed to be a bit because it's so over the top. Also, I think it's very important to notice that he made a cut. So he did have bull penis. He had that whole fucking bull wiener, and he did cut it up, put it in a bowl. But when he was digging around with the spoon, there was a cut right before he had the spoon in his mouth. So I think there's a very real case that he didn't actually eat any of it. So I do think there is a case to be made that quite a few of these videos he's made are fake and meant to troll. Like, maybe even taking the piss out of raw meat eating to a certain degree. There are some that he doesn't fake, though, which is why it's so odd, because there are some where he does eat tons and tons of meat, and he does, like, every time I've seen, finish a fucking stick of butter to himself, but maybe that's his superpower. He's like a fucking X-Men whose only mutation was the ability to polish off entire sticks of butter solo by itself. So, I mean, maybe he was just blessed with that ability, but regardless, some of them I am just going to call out. They're not real. We don't actually see him swallow a lot of the raw meat stuff, especially the raw testicle stuff. One of them is just deceptive where we don't actually see him eat the Penguinz0 or any of that. So some of them are fake, but not all of them.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well, that's what we're going to find out today because we're making testy pops. These are testicle lollipops. All you need is a raw testicle. Cut it up into 3 little bits. It's pretty simple, and this is very, very tasty. I personally love these. Lay them out on your parchment paper, and you're going to need some toothpicks and a little gloop of honey on each one. The kids are going to love these. Once you put enough honey on it, throw them in the freezer, and then you'll have the answer to how many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well,
yeah, every time he mentions a penis recipe, he mentions kids with it. Every single time, pretty much. It's fucking weird. It's pretty disturbing. Now, in this case with the testicle pops, again, we don't see him swallow it. He does, you know, take a lick of the old testicle pop, but I was expecting an old Tootsie Pop commercial where the kid gives it to an owl. How many licks to get to the center? A 1, a 2, a 3, and then takes a bite of it. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't actually swallow it, eat it, anything like that. He just puts it in his mouth for like a second. So again, I think this is a case of he probably spit it right out instantly afterward.
This is what happens when you eat 4 pounds of ground beef and sticks of butter every single day for months. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This is my carnivore diet dirty bulk. Starting out at 185 back in August, 3% body fat, visible abs. And this is me today at 205 pounds, feeling a little out of shape. But for the past 6 months, we have been way overeating. I'm talking sticks of butter wrapped in prosciutto, tablespoons of maple syrup on everything I eat multiple times a day, beef tongue on white rice, and these are all very nutrient dense foods. I was just overeating them for every single meal for months on end. And keep in mind, I really wasn't doing any weightlifting over this period. I was just doing a lot of rowing. Here's me out at lunch having a stick of butter. I would actually do this.
This is another one that showcases, like, there are times where he legitimately does consume the food that's on his plate. Like, that 3 pounds of beef and a full stick of butter, he does eat all of that. And he doesn't have a beverage. He makes sure to point that out, saying no bev. And he's right. He doesn't have anything to lubricate the gears there. He just straight up eats all of that. And then he does shove a stick of butter right down his gullet in public. The confidence to do something like that is almost admirable. But then there is an example of one where he doesn't swallow. That's the butter wrapped in raw meat or whatever. I already forgot what it was. But like that's another one where we don't see him like actually eat that or anything. So I don't know. I feel like there are real videos in here, but sprinkled throughout there are the more outrageous ones where he's clearly not actually finishing those. Like those are all put on for the sake of the quick TikTok and that's it. Like the Penguinz0 I'm going to harp on quite heavily because there is a cut. We don't actually ever even see him eat a Penguinz0. So he probably faked that entire one right there. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about him a little bit because it's still fascinating. If this is all a character and a gimmick, that I think it is because a lot of the videos seem a little more blatant than others. There's one where he's talking about like taking Trin and shit that's clearly like very tongue-in-cheek, but there are some where it's like, maybe this guy actually does eat this way. It's just a very interesting situation that I thought was at least worth mentioning, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Fear of the unknown is probably the most popular fear on the planet. I feel like most people are afraid of things they don't fully understand. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but I am fascinated and disturbed by a very popular branch of TikTok live streaming content that's blowing up right now. I'm like a dog when you get a vacuum cleaner out. I cower in fear because I really don't understand it. Now, TikTok live streams already have a reputation for being horrible. It's just an absolute wasteland. It's full of trash, more so than a landfill. I don't think there's ever even accidentally been a good TikTok live stream, except for the time a ton of people were illegally rebroadcasting the Super Bowl on there. Just going onto that platform to watch live streams is like going to an active war zone to tiptoe around landmines, but in this case, there's no safe spot to tiptoe. You always hit a landmine of fucking cringe.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ooh. Ice cream so good. Yeah, strong woman. Balloon. Yeah, strong woman.
This is what we're here to talk about. This is some kind of NPC live streaming trend where TikTok creators go live and then just act like NPCs here. Someone really summed it up best by saying that this feels like someone canceling combos in a fighting game. She just keeps randomly emoting like if you're spamming taunts in Chivalry 2 or in like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Show me your moves. Oh, you show me your moves. Show me your moves. I don't know how long she streams for, but it's gotta be fucking exhausting. It is non-stop jingling keys with no breaks. Because she's smart. She knows that on TikTok, kids leave if there's even a split second of dead air. Silence is the #1 enemy on TikTok. Silence is the devil. It's like the opposite of a quiet place where you have to be quiet to keep monsters away. This is the loud fucking doofusville platform where you have to be making as much noise as possible and stimulation out the wazoo or else people immediately turn it off. Which is why most popular videos have like 5 different tiny videos inside of them, like cutting soap in half with a knife, or the loud sounds of 5 trash cans being slammed together like cymbals while Temple Run's playing on the bottom right and GTA 5's on the top left. And she's come up with a more effective money-making strategy than free armor trimming in RuneScape. She is constantly acting out tips. So, people tip her, and she acts out the associated emoji with it, which incentivizes more people to keep tipping, which keeps supplying the stream with the NPC content.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, strong woman. Yeah, strong woman. Slay, huh? Oh, take your gaps, I love you. Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yeah, strong woman. Ugh. Fire, butterfly, beautiful. Okay, fire. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, where's my feet? Ooh, gang, 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 gang. Yes, popcorn. Gang, 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 gang. Fire. Gang, gang. Pop, amazing. Ooh.
For those that don't know how it works, on TikTok, they're so quirky and raw XD random that instead of just donating to a creator on live, you tip them with like emojis. So you give them like some roses or a dragon or a galaxy or a lemon or some shit like that. And then the creator can take this random assortment of Microsoft clip art and then turn it into money. So that's what's happening here. She's getting these tips and then she's just doing a short little performance with the tips as like an NPC. And on TikTok, it seems like people are constantly tipping. It seems like one of people's favorite pastimes on TikTok lives is giving away all of the money they have to their name. Like, these kids are like 12 years old and just give their whole allowance to TikTok creators in order for an actual split second of acknowledgement. So here, she doesn't actually like acknowledge the donators, she just acknowledges the dumbbell, for example. And she'll do like a little performance when you tip a dumbbell. I don't know how much money that is, fucking 5 glue bucks or something. I have no idea what the conversion rate in money to emote is on TikTok. But that's the whole strategy, and it's very effective. She's not the only one doing it, but she is the most popular right now. And she is engaging in a bit of whimsical silliness by having a hair iron out and popping individual popcorn kernels with it. So that's just another, like, piece of the puzzle here for keeping people hooked on it, because it's so weird and wacky that it makes it mysterious and mystical. Like, oh my god, she's cooking popcorn with a hair iron, kernel by kernel, slowly? Why, I gotta message my friends to turn off the Finger Family videos. We gotta get in here quickly. They gotta see this. She's cooking popcorn with a hair iron. There's nothing like it. You don't want to miss it. So it works out really well because it's a combination, a perfect storm, a geostorm for everything that works on TikTok. perpetual stimulation while, you know, being able to constantly spam the emotes and talking so there's never any silence, while also having that like XD random with the popcorn and hair iron, which is something that does very well on TikTok. So she's fucking crushing it. Now there's a lot of copycats doing it. So the big trend is a ton of TikTok creators like her doing this exact same performance, and they all do well, but she's by far the biggest. So they like move around, like they have idle animations. It's like you're on the choose your fighter screen in Mortal Kombat, but for them, the only fatality they have is fucking cringe.
Yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me ready it, huh? Gang gang. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Gang gang. Gang gang. Yes, yes, yes. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Oh, take it, I am. You got me feeling like a queen, huh? Slay, huh? Slay, huh? Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon. Gang gang. Gang gang. Gang gang. Oh, what is that? Gang gang. Balloon. Gang gang. Gang gang. Ice cream so good.
If this isn't evidence of people's brains devolving thanks to TikTok, I don't know what is. This is the purest example of what's happening with your brain on TikTok, where now all you need is just noise and you're entertained. Again, it's the same performance every time. She has a set list of how she responds to the emotes, and she doesn't deviate from it, and she very rarely breaks character. She only broke character one time over the last, like, 4 days I've seen this, and it was brief, very brief, like, actually just 5 seconds, and then right back into it. There's no interaction. There's nothing beyond just seeing the same emotes over and over again. It's like if you watched a 10-hour compilation of the same 5 Fortnite emotes repeated forever. And you keep tuning in every day and you're giving money to it in order to keep fueling the perpetual motion machine. Very smart on her end, but man, I don't get how she is like averaging 40,000 viewers all watching this same performance every fucking day. It's mind-blowing to me. It's baffling. Nothing but respect to the creators capitalizing off of this here, but nothing but shame for seeing the state that entertainment for young people is in. I was just talking about Skibbity Toilet yesterday, like actually applauding it by saying, finally, a piece of content I think is pretty solid in a sea of dog shit content for kids. There was finally something like a bright light at the end of the tunnel with Skibbity Toilet, finally something that looked like maybe good content still exists for kids. And then immediately I started jumping into this rabbit hole with the NPC live streams, and I'm right back to where I started, where I feel like every single kid is doomed to failure for the rest of their life thanks to their brain being rotted by TikTok. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I found it pretty interesting and obviously kind of goofy. So that's about it. See ya. Please, let us take a moment of silence for the YouTubers that now post on TikTok. Thank you. It's like a fucking ASPCA commercial. It's weird, everyone on YouTube collectively took fat shits on Musical.ly, but now with TikTok, wait a second. Can call that home. Everyone's going to TikTok. No disrespect for any YouTubers, anyone that does post on TikTok. It's just not my cup of cum. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's one of the, probably the second most humorless place on the planet, second only to Reddit. And it's just a barren wasteland of fun. Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok, at least in my opinion. I think it's all bad on there. And to showcase that, I'm going to show you some of the most popular trends going on right now that I was able to find. So let's dive right in. Bravo, that was a fun TikTok for everyone to enjoy, especially the janitor, the worker that's going to have to go and clean that up because your affluent ass definitely isn't going to be bothered to do it. That really kind of sums up the comedy on TikTok. This will be hilarious, just pouring this liquid into the glass until it overflows and gets on the floor and makes someone else clean it up. Yeehaw, baby, rebellious 9-year-olds for the win, except I'm 24 years old and I have a kid and I'm really trying my best to be famous on the internet. Better do this challenge on TikTok. So you'll never guess the name of this one. It's called the Spill the Drink Challenge, and there's music that plays, but I can't play it because it's a copyrighted song, but it says, hose, and that's while they're pouring it the whole time, and it's drawn out. The shit is Genius. A fucking masterpiece. A beautiful challenge, just doing it right there in the middle of McDonald's, making sure to get everyone in the crowd involved, you know, getting water or Sprite on everyone, which is exactly what you want when you're just going about your day, trying to get some cheap-ass food. Yep, that's what I want, to feel like my feet are getting pissed on. Great stuff. To be fair, this is the only one of this challenge I saw that was done in a public location. Everything else was staged with their family or their friends in their own house and using water or Coke for the most part. So this was just a real pioneer who decided to take it to the next level and do it in public and make everyone uncomfortable and be a public nuisance for the internet clout. I'm not going to play any more from this challenge because you get the idea. Every single one is just staring at the camera and overfilling a glass. It's fucking awful. Let's move on to a different one.
You're so bad, and baby I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah, and baby I want you so bad. You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
I should have warned you to come in here with a change of panties, because we're all getting wet with this challenge. This is the You So Bad, I Want You So Bad challenge. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't put butterflies in my nutsack. Man, what a confidence booster. It's like, damn, all these dudes looking at me like this, saying they want me, like I'm so bad, and they want me bad. Like, god damn.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, those are children. Those are kids. I feel like even having watched this clip in the middle of a compilation puts me on a list. I also don't really know when Bass Pro Shop became like acceptable fashion. When I was growing up, the only time you'd ever see anyone in Bass Pro Shop gear is if they were kissing their sister and 40 years old with a beer belly. I can't imagine kids now are wearing Bass Pro Shop merch. But hats off to Bass Pro Shop for breaking into a younger demographic.
You're so bad, and baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
There's no greater mystery in this world than the one that you see before you. How do you get more than one person to be in your shitty TikTok? How does no one along the way say, hey guys, this sucks. Why are we doing this? This is embarrassing. Why is there no sense of shame when it comes to TikToks? I'm always surprised when there's more than one person in a TikTok. I get why one delusional person might think it's a good idea, you know, fucking biting on their lip and lip syncing and shit. I get that, but when you bring in like 3 other people, how does not one of them say, this is dumb, this sucks shithole? But hats off to them. You know, you got 3 dudes gathered around with their red Solo cup trying to give the illusion that they're drinking alcohol, but they're clearly under 21, clearly under 18, so they're most likely just in there with fruit punch or root beer. And then you have one dude dance around the back. I mean, even scripting that and telling your friends what you're going to do, how does no one just say, no thank you, this is embarrassing? But whatever, group TikTok effort, very popular, hats off to them, they're having fun. I feel like such a fucking boomer shitting on new generation entertainment, but I just don't get it. I don't know who's scrolling through TikTok, stops on this one, gets a big old smile on their face and leaves it a heart. Like, there's no joke there. I hate when the joke is the song or like a goofy dance. I hate that. I fucking hate it. That is my least favorite form of comedy. Big on Instagram, big on TikTok, was big on Musical.ly, which is TikTok. Just not for me. We'll move on from this challenge, though, and go to another doozy. Another real banger of a challenge.
Oh no. Do you smell that?
This is a challenge that I guess is there for people that are on TikTok to look at girls, but I have to wonder who goes on TikTok to look at girls. What the fuck is the point of that when the internet exists? There's millions and millions of girls on the internet doing all kinds of crazy shit. You can find pretty much anything to suit your degenerate taste. Brazilian fart porn if you're into that. You can watch a girl put Fruit Loops into her gaping asshole while another girl puts a spoon in there and eats them out. You can watch a girl put golf balls into another girl's gaping asshole. There is anything. The sky is the limit. Why go on TikTok? Why roll those dice? Those girls could be 14 years old, you fucking weirdos. It just makes no sense. I don't know who's going on TikTok to look at girls. I thought TikTok was supposed to be for like humor and shit, but it's clearly not because there is no humor. It's fucking awful. Let's keep going.
Catbug! Yeah. Some yogurt. Yeah. And a place to go.
If that's not illegal, it certainly should be soon. Well, I think this has been enough to make my point. There is nothing good on TikTok at all, unless you're like a predator, maybe. I just don't get it. I never really thought I'd reach the age where I didn't understand new stuff. Like, growing up, I was always like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That'll never happen. I'll always be with the times and understanding everything and being able to partake in technology and shit. But now, I totally fucking see it. I get why boomers don't understand how to use a fucking cell phone. I get it. I am finally at a point where I just don't understand something that younger people like. It's a fucking sad feeling. Getting old. And it's gonna happen to you too if you're young and watching this. Don't think that it's only boomers. It's gonna be you too, you fucking loser. You're also going to get to the point where you're like, oh my god, what is the younger generation doing? This makes no sense to me. It's gonna happen. I definitely see it just being a natural order of things now. I get it. And it sucks. Also, TikTok fucking sucks. You know, it's not me. It's not boomers that are the problem. It's the younger generation with shit taste. TikTok sucks. It's bad. That's it. See ya. Musical.ly is a platform where you lip sync to popular songs and act like a big douchebag in an attempt to sexually seduce children. In the 90s, the warning parents gave children was, hey, don't accept candy from strangers in a van. In 2018, the warning is, hey, don't go on Musical.ly. If you're above the age of 13 and using Musical.ly, you're either a pedophile or going through a very severe insecurity crisis. Now let's go ahead and look at some popular Musical.ly going on right now to a popular song. I don't know the song or anything, but I've seen the Musical.ly now, so let's go ahead and watch that together. I bet you weren't expecting that transformation. He went from a dweeb to a bad boy, a pussy slang magnet, from a dork to a bad boy, a gnarly man who's annihilating vaginis now. Be careful who you call ugly in middle school, because they might just turn out to be a sex offender on Musical.ly. When you're on Musical.ly, you just gotta get used to seeing a lot of tongues coming out from some very creepy looking men. I also like how Dr. Frankenstein also got in on the trend here with this one. He's reading directions for the fucking necromancy spell he's about to practice. So why do good girls fall in love with me? Real love time, bad boy, and it's plain to see. Love time, bad boy, and it's plain to see. Bad boy, and it's plain to see. Bad boy, and it's plain to see. It's plain to see. So time, bad boy, and it's plain. This is a lot of bad boys we're seeing right now. It's like we're all having a That's So Raven flash to the future, but our future, all we see are the baddest boys. The amount of sleeveless leather jackets in these Musical.ly videos is absurd. It would make a biker gang jealous as fuck. Or maybe they'd ejaculate in envy of all the leather and shit. But the point I'm making is this really what being a bad boy looks like in 2018? Because if so, thank God. These are some cool fucking men right here. Musical.ly has shown me that I should be embarrassed for having tattoos. I honestly think Musical.ly is gonna make tattoos go extinct, drive that entire fucking market out of business, because they make it so embarrassing. They make tattoos look like the cringiest shit in the world. I've been a bad boy, and it's plain to see. I'm not weird, but let me see you pee. And then there's like that army guy, I don't know what he was doing there. I've been a bad boy. And then he swipes and he's in his army getup. That's the kind of shit that gets you kicked out of the army, I imagine, like fucking getting expelled like a misbehaving toddler. Gotta keep this shit on the down low here, Sergeant. Anyway, I mean, musically, pretty fucking cool. I'll keep watching, because I'm hooked now. With all these bad boys on the platform, how could I not want to watch more? That's it. See ya. I don't think I've ever looked at an extremely wealthy person and thought to myself, damn, I feel bad for them. Until today. I found this absolutely pathetic turbo virgin douchebag on TikTok who apparently has a ton of money, but is extremely insecure, and it just comes across as the saddest shit I've seen in my life. And I thought I'd share at least a little bit of this guy with you.
Alright, so since y'all keep talking shit, I'm going to rub more of my opulent lifestyle in your faces.
This is an actual person, by the way. He looks like Gary Vee going through a phase. This guy looks like a GTA Online character that's being controlled by a 13-year-old, and his house looks exactly the same as that. Like, it's an actual middle schooler's fantasy for shit they'd think is cool. He's trying so hard to make it look like he's not trying at all. He's doing that generic rich asshole thing where he just puts a gun out on a counter during his tour. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. How embarrassing. It looks like my AK-47's just sitting out in the open. Oh, goodness gracious. But that doesn't even look like a real AK-47. It looks like a prop. It looks like something he got out of Party City. Shit looks like it's made out of chocolate. It could be real, I suppose, but I think what's more likely there is he asked his mom if he could go buy a gun for his video, and he just went to the nearest Walmart and got whatever toy he could find.
I'm gonna give you a tour of just one room of my grandiose two-story penthouse in paradise. It's basically like 5th Avenue with one of the best Caribbean Ocean views you'll ever see.
What a lovely picture behind him. An American Psycho reference, obviously, but what an incredible photo shoot. His sister worked really hard that day to set that one up for him. Just to really give the impression to anyone that comes over that this guy has sex, but once you meet him, you'll know for sure he doesn't.
Alright, and for those of you who say I rent my yeah, I'm sure the guy that I rented my place from put these two $50,000 mirrors perfectly aligned on the wall so that I could put a 7-foot self-portrait of myself perfectly in between them.
Yes, this guy's got thousands of fucking self-portraits of himself all over the place. That's his big thing. Just art of himself everywhere. I'm sure his toilet even has pictures of his face on it, so that way he's always eating your ass out. But the thing is, I can't find too much information about how he made his money, so I'm led to believe that he's just a trust fund kid who's grown up, but has never really experienced anything in the world, so this is what he thinks is cool. I don't know for sure, because I really thought going into this it was satire, but the more I've watched from this guy, the more I believe that this is just him. This is genuinely what he is and what he's become. Now, admittedly, I didn't look that hard into his background. I just watched his TikToks to laugh at them. So maybe he actually did make money somehow, like scamming through NFTs or crypto or something. It's possible, but I think what's most likely is his money just comes from his parents.
Dumb. Look at this. This is 3,000 square feet. One room, 3,000 square feet of pure chic opulence. That's bigger than most of y'all's houses, I'm sure. Or 3 times the size of mom's basement you live in.
Ooh, hear that, basement dwellers? You just got fucking chatted on a little bit. I also love that he starts this, since you all are talking shit and hurting my feelings, I'm gonna cry on camera by pretending like my life has meaning with this money that I didn't earn. Like, he literally starts the video like, since you're making me feel bad, I'm gonna try and flex, and it still doesn't make me feel any less bad, but maybe it'll make you not feel cool too, asshole.
Look at this. Look at this Calcutta marble. It's 100G of marble between that wall installation and my dining table. And that chandelier, that'll run you about the cost of 2 entry-level Mercedes-Benzes. So, if you want to keep talking go ahead. You. I give 0
Yeah, this looks and sounds like a guy who gives 0 fucks. Literally comes on here whining and crying about talking shit so he tries to flex. Yeah, you really don't care, big guy.
Alright, little advice for all you TikTok trolling minion clowns who in your language don't pull. Bitches love hot tubs. Especially decadent ass motherfucking hot tubs like this. Look at this
Yeah, this guy speaks like he just learned what cussing is, and those girls look extremely happy to be there, the way they're just rubbing up all on him. They are enamored right now. They're hypnotized by this man's wealth and suave badassness. That's like his bio. He says how much of a badass he is. It's really pretty embarrassing shit. This man is the embodiment of cringe, if cringe also came with a couple $1 million from daddy. So he keeps suckling on his parents' tits and milking them for all they're worth for these TikTok videos here. And he's obviously paid these women to be here. You can tell by the way they're acting. This isn't like normal. This is a shoot. This is a fucking shoot, and they're paid for like 45 minutes of their time. I always find that to be the most embarrassing shit about these kind of people that try and flex wealth. The women they put in their videos is always very clearly people they have paid to be there. How is that not extremely embarrassing? That you had to pay women to be around you for your videos.
Questioning my legitimacy and overall badassness. So I felt the need, of course, to retort in kind. Right now, I'm sitting on a $12,000 chair.
That's another thing that's always bothered me about these rich people videos, is that they can just make up prices for shit whenever they want, and you have no way of really proving it wrong. But I bet that's not a $12,000 chair that his swamp ass is sitting on. That's probably one of those like really cheap chairs that you can find at Halloween stores once a year that they use for decorations outside.
I'm sitting in front of my mugshot, painted on bullets. It's pretty cool. You may ask yourself, why the does this guy have this? Why does he have it? Well, the answer is number one, because I can, and number two, because I'm badass as I am the game.
My man here is the opposite of the game. This guy had to pay women to be around him. Now, it does look like he has money, so the first one is true. He has it because he can. The second one, though, I don't think there's a single person alive that would consider this guy badass. He is literally crying on TikTok in almost every video about people being mean to him. So his response to that is flexing wealth on him that he may or may not have made himself. Again, I don't know for sure. But that doesn't strike me as something a badass would do. And something that a badass would absolutely never do is call themselves badass as fuck. That's like Borderlands writing. Jesus Christ. Also, you've probably seen the necklace that he's wearing. It says S my C. It's suck my cock. The guy made a custom sterling silver suck my cock necklace. So this is a guy who is beyond insecure. He probably reads every comment, and any one of them that's not sucking his cock is considered a negative comment and probably takes a large toll on his mental health. He is probably not in the right frame of mind to be on TikTok, since most people on there are just making fun of him. It's a really sad thing, honestly. And it just goes to show, maybe money can't buy happiness. That's about it. So yeah. There was something oh, Gunner. I saw Gunner posted a new video. I didn't see what it was on, though. The Addison Rae Trainwreck reality show. Addison Rae Goes Home. I don't remember, is that the one that's like a bunch of influencers in a house or some shit?
TikTok star who broke the mainstream and now has her very own terrible reality TV show on Snapchat. Because who doesn't love watching TV vertically, where for every 10 seconds of show, you get 15 seconds of ads? What a deal. On the upside, it makes it easier for teens to go back and forth. She was in an awful movie last year. She's been making music. She's in commercials.
Wait, I love awful influencer movies. What was that one? He's All That, I think?
She was in an awful...
He's All That. Addison Rae and... Who the fuck is Tanner Buchanan? This looks like Jay Schlatt when he uses that attractive man filter. Is this a real human being or like an android? Has anyone seen this? Thanks to the gift sub Speed Razor and the resub Agate Rock and Rex. Thank you for that. We're watching some goofy shit. Let's see what this is. I'll probably watch this. I love these awful movies, I really do. He's All That is an American 2021 romantic teen comedy film directed by Mark Waters. We got any Mark Waters fans in here? What's he made? Mark Waters is the genius behind such bangers like Magic Camp, Bad Santa 2, I know that one, Vampire Academy, and Mr. Popper's Penguinz. Oh, and Sorry Haters and Mean Girls. And Freaky Friday. Whoa! And Freaky Friday. Wait just a minute.
Just look at that cover picture. Of course, she's on her phone, probably making a TikTok. Sorry, working. Looking an awful lot more southern than usual. Laying on a pile of hay or grass or just general debris. Addison Rae returns to her roots in Louisiana.
That is a cool picture.
It's brought me a lot of love, but with that comes a lot of hate.
Oof.
Now, I'll be going back home to Louisiana for a week with my mom, dad. I wonder if it'll be like it used to.
It's a single.
What a weird premise. What? What? Well, now that I'm super rich and famous, I have to wonder, will I be able to mingle with the plebeians again, or am I just too far above them to comprehend that kind of poor nature? I'll have to find out by experimenting in the swamp. What is the idea of this show? Isn't she like 20 years old and she's only been doing TikTok for like a year and a half, 2 years or something? Why wouldn't she fit in all of a sudden? If she doesn't fit in, it's because she's the fucking problem.
still nervous to see my friends and family who knew me before everything. I just hope they remember I'm the same person they've always known.
It's giving Hannah Montana movie. I've only seen the show, but big facts. The premise of that.
It's like she's fucking Jekyll and Hyde, or like Bruce Wayne and Batman. My parents, or my family, knew me before I became TikTok famous. Now they won't even recognize me. I've undergone a metamorphosis into a beautiful butterfly of clout.
Growing up, my family and I ate a shit ton of crawfish.
So
on Snapchat saying shit? That's kind of big.
How did you like handle that public breakup? Like, what did you do to like, okay, I'm okay, everything's gonna be fine.
What a normal conversation.
Like, not falling apart. Has like being in that public relationship before changed your opinion on like when you want to pursue a new relationship?
Man, what are you, like a spy or something?
This isn't how friends ask questions. I will now rephrase that question into how Addison Rae's 21-year-old friend would actually ask it.
Oh man, he's method acting. He's going in.
So do you and Bryce still fuck? End scene. Thank you.
Damn, this guy's good.
Thank you, good night. I was just dancing in my room and now I use $100 bills as napkins. Feels weird and scary. Am I being provocative again? Absolutely. I just think narrated slow-mo shots of you looking introspective might be the worst way to come off relatable. But that's what this show is all about, right? Addison appearing to be relatable. So
What is this? Can you look at like Snapchat numbers? I'm curious. Do people actually watch this and enjoy it? What was this called again? Addison Rae Going Ghost? Oh, you can like individually subscribe to shows on Snapchat. So her show has 497,000 subscribers. Is there like reviews? Well, there it has to be because he brought one up. Because I don't even understand who this is supposed to appeal to. Because let's say I'm an 8-year-old girl. I'm a big Addison Rae fan. Why the fuck am I gonna watch her just go home? What is there for, like, I'm there to just watch her do TikTok trendy dances. Why the fuck do I care if she goes home? Kids don't care, man. I guess, but I remember when I was a kid, I still, like, watched things where, like, things happen. This is, granted, we've only seen clips here. This is literally nothing happening. It's slow-mo shots, and then, I guess, an interview? Do people not review these things? Because I can't find shit. I did. I even typed in just general review to see what critics are saying, but no one's even mentioning it. Closest thing I found is this guy who wrote an article with a quote from her saying, "A lot of people say I dropped out of school for TikTok, and I don't think I dropped out of school for TikTok. It was because I knew that this was a career path that I've always wanted to pursue, kind of, in the entertainment industry." But you were literally saying right there that you dropped out for TikTok. People are confused by that, and they think I dropped out because of the app, but it was really to focus on pursuing my career in the entertainment industry and moving out here too. On TikTok. You dropped out for TikTok. It was your entertainment industry. I don't know why she's like embarrassed of it. Just like embrace it. She's made a very successful career out of it, and I can't find any reviews, so I'm just going to assume everyone loves it.
Gussie, one of my best friends growing up and still today.
I'm sorry, Gussie? Her name's Gussie? I'm not
No, it's a nickname.
Sure you made that up to make her look more grounded in Louisiana. You see, I actually looked up the number of babies named Gussie over the years. On this chart, notice how it kind of stops in 1952. I guess one slipped through the cracks.
Regardless of everything that's happened in the past, got me. It's so rare to find a friendship like we have. That's what I feel like I've been struggling with.
Why are they both wearing cowboy hats in the rain?
Be able to feel like not judged. Even people that I know
on a picnic.
It's hard to find people to trust, like truly, because a lot of people don't have your best interest or like will use things against you. Like my vulnerability and my kindness has been taken advantage of so many times in LA.
My sister in Christ, let her speak. Your best friend so far has said
We were definitely the girls at school that were a little bit different.
Thanks for some Darren and Toad.
We photo shoots together and liked the same type of music.
We were definitely the weird girls in school. We took pictures, we liked music, we were the outcasts of society. Where'd you go to school, Addison? Rikers? You just named the most basic bitch shit and claimed it as personality. Sometimes on the weekend, we would go to the mall and get
That is pretty wild.
Fries. We were crazy. I thought you were
loose cannons.
Series. You're losing me.
We used to literally do photo shoots every day.
That is pretty unique.
And they were cool. Remember we like dreamt about LA
I know.
Since 8th
What are
grade.
these conversations?
How can we get there? How can we get there now?
Well, you can always come whenever you want. Just let me know your dates and I'll write you in the calendar.
Ugh, remember when we dreamed of living in LA and now I'm there and you're still here? I'll calendar you in though, and we'll review it and someone will reach out.
That's the way to do it.
If maybe I'm free. Oh my god, actually we could use
Gussie's following isn't big enough.
For my TikToks.
They won't allow her in
Oh my
California.
god, you could graduate high school, get famous, move from home, and your parents come with you to ride off your success. I don't entirely blame them. They saw she was making money. Your parents come
Wait,
with you
what
to
is
ride off
mom
your
doing over?
success. I don't
Jesus
entirely
Christ!
blame them. They saw she was making
You're fucking
money.
busting it wide open.
Suck one. We're coming for the Hollywood Hills. Brother Enzo Lopez joined season 7 7 casts of Chicken Girls. Thanks, Just Jared Jr., for pummeling into this kid that he's only known as Addison Rae's brother.
So after
God, isn't that the fucking worst? I see that shit all the time for like those celebrity siblings. Where the fuck is that headline? There it is. They do that for like everyone. Oh, there was one I just read. And no, not E-Rob Tyler's brother. What the fuck was it? Oh my god. Hold on, this is gonna make me really upset. Not the Hemsworth. You guys know there is a third Hemsworth brother though? There's Liam, Chris, and then one other guy. I don't know his name.
Be sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on, as well as follow me on Instagram at Gunnar Klein. I heard that account is giving off major Sagittarius vibes these days. And consider becoming a member on Patreon so you can help fund my reality TV show, Gunnar Goes to Vegas. That's another joke. I prefer Miami. With that said, good day, y'all.
Whoa, what the
Someone please go check on Gussie now.
Nobody prefers Miami. Jesus. Man sleeps with his socks on and prefers Miami? I mean, I guess Miami is better than, like, hell, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. That'd even be a tight race. That was another banger, though, from Gunnar. I was the one that discovered why good girls like bad guys. I was the fucking scientist that cracked that code. The fucking shit archaeologist who dug through shit trying to find and clean his finds of shit on the Musical.ly or TikTok app. And then I made the video about good girls, bad guys. And then Pyrocynical has the audacity, he has the gall, the chutzpah to steal my video idea, my video in essence. He takes it from me without even mentioning me. And then Memulous, I had him on the fucking podcast. I raised the boy. I made him a man, put hair on his ball sacks on the podcast, and he turns around and does a TikTok video as well. Again, without even saying that I was the cream supreme of TikTok finds. Disrespectful. Now no one even knows that I was the one that discovered it. And it's a shame. It's a fucking shame. So now I, the holy king, chosen by God himself to sit upon the throne of shitting on insufferably bad TikTok content and watching borderline illegal TikTok content, must retake my place atop this mountain of dog shit that is called TikTok.
You sure you want to do this, little girl? I mean, what if we're dangerous?
This is exactly what I meant by borderline illegal. So apparently this dude was under the impression that he was communicating with and singing to like a 6-year-old girl. And then it turns out she's not actually 6. Fucking got him. Catfish. Lied to. This is like a Chris Hansen play right here. Right out of his playbook. I don't understand. And what the fuck was that picture anyway? It looked like a missing person on the back of a milk carton picture. This is just some weird shit, and it's apparently a trend on TikTok. There's a fucking 100 of these.
Sure you want to do this, little girl? I mean, what if we're dangerous? What if we're dangerous?
How many child predators are there on TikTok? How many dudes were under the impression that they were communicating with children, and then they do this challenge and it turns out they're not children, so they're all surprised? What a fucking weird trend and culture on TikTok. Let's go ahead and check out some more of them.
Oh well. Carla's a witch.
This is cheating a little bit because I already knew about this one. This was a very popular trend a couple years back. The karma's a bitch, and then you like throw a blanket in the air and then all of a sudden your dick's 9 inches long or something. But since it's Halloween, it's got a spin on TikTok where karma's a witch. But I unironically like this clip just because I think that mask is fantastic. It must be a homemade DIY creation from this guy. It looks like Gandalf face-fucked a hobgoblin, and the tongue out from the guy wearing it's that nice little cherry on top to remind you that the platform is still just for sex offenders. That face, the mask, probably is what most of the people who hit like on those videos on TikTok look like behind the phone screen. Who reacts that way to seeing a bottle of water on the floor? If I saw a bottle of water on my floor, I'd be like, oh shit, must have left that bottle of water on the floor. But she stumbles in here like she just walked into a crime scene. She's just fucking disgusted by it. makes a face like she's watching her parents have sex. Then it turns out that bottle of water's super heavy like Thor's hammer, but luckily she had a real man on standby to come help her with it. It was just a little sneak preview, a little taste of the comedy stylings of TikTok, the comedy genius of the TikTok creators. I know you're probably still recovering from the hoot and holler you had from that heavy bottle challenge clip right there, but trust me, it gets even better on TikTok. Did you see those goofy faces? In case that didn't really tickle you pink, did you see what he was curling? It wasn't a weight, it was a fruit. That's right, this is part of the comedy trend on TikTok called the Fruit Fitness Challenge. I mean, need I say more? This is where all the good shit goes to die. I think that's enough of TikTok for today. I've scrolled through plenty of videos. I think I'm going to call it quits on the TikTok app for tonight. See ya. I just found the toughest guy on TikTok, the CEO of the Salty Spittoon. He told an inspirational story that I happened to stumble across, and I'm not gonna lie to you sports fans, it's something I really needed to hear.
From that point on, my dad knew he couldn't take on. That was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went to hit me over the head. And I did this, and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the leg, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table. Coffee table broke in half.
Yeah, that definitely happened. And everybody clapped. This kid Rex Kwon his father through a coffee table like it was Mankind McFoley through a WWE table. Now, I read his comments, and there were naysayers in there thinking that he was just spouting off a load of baloney. Bunch of bullshit. Well, poo-poo on you for thinking that he would be lying about a situation like this. You don't know who you're speaking to. This isn't some ordinary mortal, some weak coward. This is a superhuman. And here he is graciously taking time out of his busy day sucking piss from his own balls in order to tell us the origin story of his powers. Kind of like when Mark from Invincible awakened his powers, so too did he. And he is going to use this as a way of not just flexing on us, but trying to lift us up.
That's the beauty, that we are actually superhuman. We just don't unlock these genes because we don't put our body and our mind through the pressure. There is something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you cause with hitting the bone thickens the bone.
See, it's that simple. Microfractions. Well, you didn't learn about that in algebra? I'll drop the sarcasm for a moment. Fucking Goober here is confusing microfractures for microfractions. Also, I'm convinced he's not actually speaking to anyone on this podcast. I think he just set up this like podcast look to make it seem like he's got more authority than he actually does on something. But that's just a little game theory. That's a little tinfoil hat conspiracy there. But anyway, I just love that he comes in here preaching, we're all superhumans. Have you ever heard of microfractures? Like that's the eureka moment, like that's the chemical X. It turns out this is the secret that, you know, Big Brother doesn't want you to know. We're actually all X-Men, thanks to microfractions. I feel like it's almost insulting to your intelligence if I explain microfractures here, because I imagine most of you know what that is, but I'll go ahead and dive into it quickly, just in case he happens to have stumbled across this video in between beating 5,000 samurais' asses for the day or something, or whatever cool badass thing he was doing. What he's trying to talk about is microfractures, which you've probably heard of in relation to like Muay Thai. And it's like repeated impact to the bone causes slight little fractures to it, so when it repairs itself, it grows back a bit denser, a bit stronger. Now, obviously, it's not going to turn you into a goddamn superhuman. You could go outside and kick oak trees till the cows come home, kicking infinite oak trees, but you will never be able to have dense enough bones to be, like, bulletproof or anything like that. Like, it's not going to turn you into a superhuman, and I don't know why he's talking about it like it somehow does.
I used to sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't fuck up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body, and if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker.
He's just straight up wrong. The head is not the strongest bone in the human body. That title usually goes to the femur. But he does say something I do believe him on about banging his head. That I think he's probably telling the truth on. Like, yeah, maybe he was hitting his knees or his shins with a hammer, And he probably started hitting his head with the fucking hammer too from the sound of things here, because he is way off his rocker here. He is off his gourd.
We heard, and I learned that at a young age. That's what I learned from the Shaolin monks. Go watch them when they spar, when they battle, or when they have a fight. Boom, they turn their head. Wherever you're hitting, they just turn their head. You punch their head, you're breaking your hand.
No, they don't. He doesn't say a single thing in here that's accurate at all, not even by accident. So I know exactly what happened here, though. He saw one video, the old viral video of that Shaolin monk who was taunting his opponent in a fight, where he put his head down and was just taking every blow right on the chin. Like, he was just eating every fucking blow like it was cereal. So that's the video he saw, and he thought that must have been true for all Shaolin monks, I think. That's the only explanation I can think of. Like, and I'm giving him a lot of charitability here with my interpretation of this statement, because I think also equally likely is he's just straight up lying, just actually talking out of his fucking butthole. But I think there's a chance he saw that video of the Shaolin monk in the boxing ring where he was getting hit in the head a lot because he was literally taunting the guy, and he's like, oh, that's how Shaolin monks fight. Must be those microfractions I've heard so much about. They must train with that. So now he's spouting it off here on the podcast. But I don't know why he thinks that. He could have just looked it up for like 2 seconds. Like, Shaolin monks don't just fight with their head for blocking. Like, they're not giraffes. Like, they don't just fight with their head. Like, what? It's outrageous that he would think that. Also, I can't help but have, like, an immense appreciation for the lesson he's trying to teach here to, like, the absolute idiots in his audience. That you should hit your head a lot over the course of a year to make your skull thicker. He's actually trying to preach the gospel that in order to be a superhuman, you need to be like banging your head against the wall like it's a horror movie, like the end of Hereditary or something. That is incredible as a lesson that he's trying to get out there. Because that's actually the takeaway. He is literally talking like, if you want to unlock the superhuman X-Men gene, you're going to have to start hitting your shins with a hammer and damaging your skull so that way it'll get thicker and stronger and more dense. You ever heard of Shaolin monks and microfractions? That's an incredible lesson for him to try and teach on TikTok. That's amazing.
I come in to kill you. When I punch somebody, I don't punch their head. I'm imagining my fist going through their head, through the back of their head. Their head gets stuck here on my elbow. That's how Bruce Lee used to do. And who was like that? Mike Tyson. He comes in, and when he punches, why'd you see everybody's head flying? Because he tried to put his fist through the guy's head. That's why every single punch you see people fly. Look today, all the knockouts that are in the UFC. Somebody kicks him, he does a slap kick. Chin, boom, boom, boom. Guy goes down this way. Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee, it's a different punch.
Hey, can't argue with that. When this man throws a punch, he's turning your skull into body armor for himself, locking it in like an elbow pad. That is, of course, assuming you haven't trained your skull with sledgehammers for the better part of a decade, because then even he would be powerless against a skull that thick. You'd be looking like Sheen out of that episode of Jimmy Neutron when he gets really smart and has that huge brain. But yeah, I just think it's really fun listening to this guy talk about how badass he is. It's so cool. I punch through their skull and then their head's locked on my elbow. I end up looking like I'm out of Mad Max. I adorn my body with decorations of viscera and body parts. It's so fucking good.
Belgian horses are the biggest and the strongest horses in the world. Each one could pull 12,000 pounds. If the two of them are put together, how much weight could they pull?
Together, they're pulling 24,000 right there.
By math, if you do it right, they're pulling 24,000. When you put two alpha males, Belgian horses, together, they could pull 36,000 pounds.
Math can never calculate the potential of an alpha. Also, the AI art he uses for all of his videos is fucking mind-boggling. Yikes. Horrifying. But you're gonna find this hard to believe. He's wrong again. So, this is actually something a lot of other influencer alpha males mention about the Belgian horses as an example of how strong brotherhood can be. They're able to punch way above their weight class, beyond what you would expect given, you know, the numbers here. And it all stems from something called entree leadership from someone named Dave Ramsey, who gave this Belgian horse example when it comes to synergy. So, Belgian horses can pull up to 8,000 pounds individually, not 12,000 like Goofball mentions. And Dave Ramsey saying when you put two together, they are able to actually pull under like optimal conditions, trained together. They can get up to like 30 or even 32,000 pounds that they can pull together. through synergy. Well, our guy didn't quite understand that. He couldn't get the numbers correct, and he was trying to spout out an idea that's not his to begin with. I don't think he read Dave Ramsey's book. I'm starting to wonder if he's literate in the first place. Instead, I'm sure he saw some of the other influencer alpha males that have butchered that book excerpt, and he just tried to call upon that and got it wrong.
It's because one pushes the other. If you guys work together as a team, like two Belgian horses, you'll be able to pull a lot more than you're pulling on your own.
Yeah, I like that.
It's amazing that when you see brothers really work as a team and understand that nothing can break you, which means if I separated you and I took you in a room, no matter how hard I would beat you, you don't give up your brother.
Yeah.
You don't break. Don't ever let a woman separate between you guys. Every single ex-girlfriend of my brother separated us, didn't want me around. When I was around, he was being more of himself. Brotherhood is the most important thing.
Every single one of your brother's ex-girlfriends didn't want you around? And you think that's a problem with them, not you? Like these women that knew nothing about you at all, like they didn't have it out for you, all of them for some reason just didn't want you around, and you don't think that's because you're a fucking weirdo? Or maybe I'm just talking crazy. That's clearly not the lesson to be learned from that experience there. Obviously not. It all ties back to Belgian horses, actually. Anyway, though, I really enjoyed going down a little bit of a rabbit hole on some tough guy TikTok content, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya.